Right, welcome back once again. As you can see, we're inside again. The parts are getting fitted slowly. We've now got the brake lever, the pannier rail around the other side, as you know, and of course also the tank pad, which is the one I did last time. So what have we got left? Just 2 items now, and the one we're going to concentrate on today is this, the power accessory socket. So let's go and see how we get on with this one. Right, a quick look at the instructions online. Here we go, Honda accessory socket. How many pages? 1 of 7, so not too bad. Component list. I've noticed here including wire tie not used. There's actually 5 in the kit, but they don't use them. Why put them in? Don't know, we'll find out maybe. Installation image, which is always useful just to orientate yourself with where the bits go. As you can see, the relay goes under the seat. How to remove the seat, how to remove the protective cover over the battery and the fuse box, which is here. Take the fuse cover off, that's where the relay goes. How to get the power cables. They are actually hidden with some tape underneath the switch gear, so that just shows you where they are, how to get them off, how to fit the unit together. Well, there, taking the bolts out, putting the clamp and the unit in place, yep, there, and then taping back up after fitting the cables together, and that's it. So that should be easy enough. What could possibly go wrong? Well, if anything will, I'll probably do it, but we'll see how we get on. Right then, so here we are. First thing, remove the seat, obviously, and hopefully, just checking, hopefully you can see the general area we'll be working on. Before I do anything, I'm going to get a towel and cover the tank up. So I've grabbed this towel, pop it over there, just in case, because I'm going to be working around the handlebar area, so better safe than sorry. Now, we need to disconnect the battery. Before we do that, we need to take this panel out. Now, I did a video on these little clips before. Bear with me, I'll just get my glasses. Yeah, I did a video on these clips before. There are, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And you just press the centre area down in order to release them. You just need a small screwdriver or anything else that is pointy. There they are. So I did a little video on those because they're quite fiddly. So fiddly in fact that this one here, as you can see, is missing because I lost it first time around when I did the video. I dropped it down here somewhere. It'd be funny actually if I managed to find it, wouldn't it? After 2,500 miles, because it wasn't on the floor, definitely wasn't on the floor when I dropped it. So it must have gone down somewhere in the gubbins, but for the life of me I could not find it. Who knows? It would be great if I could find it again. But they are a bit fiddly. There's no doubt about it, and I'm making a bit of a hash up of getting this one out. It just doesn't want to go. There we go. Don't drop it. Don't drop it. So easy to drop. There we go. That's the 3. And then with this panel, this is all in one piece. What you have to do is push these back like that. Screwdriver down, and then work. As you see, it just hooks under the hook there. So you just have to work it around that. It's a little bit fiddly. But it does come out because I did have it out before. There we go. And then that, which I think is the, how did that come off? Oh yeah, press down there, don't you? He says, there we go. That I think is the connection to the computer when they check your bike out. So that panel can come away completely. And then we can take the negative off the battery so as to disconnect the battery. Normal stuff when you do anything electrical. There we go. So this of course will mean I'll have to reset the clock. I'm going to put that just there. In fact, what I'm going to do is get something just to wrap around that. Got a little piece of bubble wrap here, and I'll just pop that over the top. Tuck it down there just so that as we're messing around in this area, that doesn't get accidentally reconnected again. Right then, next job is the battery cover. Could do some more light here, to be honest with you. I think we need a screwdriver down the side here. Let's have a look. I do indeed. Where's the other one? Has it got another one? Oh, looks like it just hinges. Probably enough actually. So I'm going to just check again on the instructions to see whereabouts this fits, because it's not obvious from this where it actually goes. Back in a sec. Okay, so you can see that from the instructions that it's actually on this side of the bike that this fits. And as there is only one conceivable place for that to go, it has to go in there. Does it? Does it that way around? Yeah. And that, I think, is definitely, it's actually a Panasonic unit, as are the others. That is clearly the only way for it to go, so it's accessory relay, which makes sense. I could have read it after all, couldn't I? And that clicks back on. So there we go. So we've got the battery disconnected, the relays in place. We're ready to get on with part 2. Right, so you're now looking up at the bottom of the right hand switch gear where we're going to mount the accessory socket. And what we're looking for is not that, but this little cable here, which as you can see is taped up along with the main bundle from the throttle body here. And we've got to release this cable here. So I've got one of these little sharp implements. Whether I'm going to be able to film it, I don't know, but I'll try and see how I get on. So there we have it, success. And those are the two cables that we need. Oh, let me just get that aside for a minute. So that's the two cables that you're releasing. And these obviously go into the socket. So I'll move you again. So I'll try to do this and film at the same time. But hopefully you can see that and where they were put. And we'll carry on, move the camera, and we'll carry on with the next stage. Okay, so we've now got to put this part together. I'll tell you what, filming, it makes you appreciate how difficult it is and how these guys online that do all this filming, I really do appreciate it, because it's a nightmare getting the light right. And of course the camera, wherever the camera needs to be, is exactly where you need to stand to actually do the job you're trying to show on the camera. But anyway, I think I've got it right now. So this is what you get. That's how it comes. That's in a separate bag. And in order to sort this out, you need this bracket here. So we need to get this off, which is a rubber gaiter. And you need to get this fixing ring off. Unfortunately, of course, this won't go on over the fixing ring. It'll go on over the gaiter, not a fixing ring, but luckily the fixing ring will, of course, go over here. He says. There we go, so we got that off. Now we can get this on. Get that over the bracket, and then we have to align this up, and there's only one way it goes. Oh, straight away I can feel it. It's actually got a little locking pin there and just locks into place. Then we can put our ring back on. All obvious stuff, but it's fun to watch somebody else struggling with it rather than yourself while you're having a nice cup of tea or a coffee, isn't it? So there we go. Yeah, it's locked into place, and that should spin onto there. So there we go. That's our part all put together, ready to go on the bike. Right then, so we're very nearly there now. You'll need a 12mm socket. We're going to take these two bolts off, and hopefully that will fit neatly onto there with the new bolts. So we'll take these off first. Quite tight actually. The new fitment is 12. The 12 Newton meters is the actual fit. Whoa! I'm moving now because that one's gone really easily. So we're going to have to align this back up again afterwards. Make sure that doesn't go anywhere. And that's a faint hope, I think, because that's definitely going to move. Yeah, I'm going to change my tool at this stage. It's going to be easier to do it with a screwdriver. A little bit of luck with this. Maybe I should have taped this up to hold it. And that's that one out. And that's all okay. I think what I might do actually is place one in at first. The new bolts, as you can see, I would imagine anyway, yeah, they're just fractionally longer in order to take into account the thickness of this bracket. So I'm going to just pop that one back in on the top there. Just loosely. And the other one out. trying to do this and mess around with the camera, it's not easy. Let's just take this up a bit and get a bit of grip on that. I think that's close now. There is a little indent on the handlebar that shows you where to line up, as we saw earlier in the instructions, so not too concerned about this moving around. We'll get that straight in a moment. Right, I need some light. And you can see this has moved quite a bit. I'm going to torque this up in a moment. 12 Newton meters. Before I do that, I'm going to come around here and double check again that that is in the right place. Let me have a look. It's not quite. So, should be in the right place, finally. Tighten up a little bit. Tighten that one a little. I'm making a right meal of this, aren't I? Let's have a look again now. Yeah, that is absolutely perfect. And that little speck there, it's just a little piece of white debris actually. I thought it was the indent. So that now is spot on. So before it moves again, I'll give this a little bit of tension before I finally tighten up. Make sure that those two are okay, which they are. So there we are, all in place. So I'll get the torque wrench, torque those up, and then we'll wire it together. Yes, I've torqued now the two bolts up to 12 Newton meters, as you can see on there. Those two, all fine. Now in retrospect, to be quite honest, I should have had something to hold this to the bar. I think it would have been better. Tape it round or something just to stop any chance of anything falling or moving so much. But it is a little bit fiddly to get those out because the weight of the mirror on the top tends to make the thing want to move. So now we're left with a very simple job, as you can see. I hope you can see. So we just need to connect these two up, which is pretty much foolproof. He says, struggling. There we go. And then we need to find out a way of mounting this neatly and taping it back around in here. So I won't bore you with that. Pretty obvious, just needs to be folded up, something like that, and then neatly taped up. And then we'll have a look at the socket and see if it works. Right then, excuse the wobbly video, I'm trying to hold this, but as you can see what I've done is tape all of that up to make it one neat thing. And I think the best way of doing that now is to fold this in there and use one of the little cable ties that came with the kit that the instructions said don't use. I think it's pretty obvious to do that, so I'm going to do that now. Right, so there we go, the battery is now reconnected. I've got to put the panel back on in a minute, but I'll do that in a few moments. There is the socket, and I've got one of these little adapters here, which has got a little LED light on, adapter for USB and what have you. So we'll plug that in, and then if I can get to the key, hopefully, fingers crossed, here we go. Yes, we have a green light, ladies and gentlemen. and I would say that that means that is definitely working. Phew. So there we go. So I've got to set the clock again, and but that basically is that, apart from a bit of tidying up. Thanks so much for being with me on this one. Next time should be the, as you can see in the background there, the heated grips, the big one. We'll see how that goes. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.